There's one island that has like this crazy hole in the ground that was made by pirates. There's a television show about it. You know what I'm talking about?
The Curse of Oak Island.
Get ready to be shocked, as the long-preserved riches of Oak Island have finally been discovered after centuries. Unlike most other quests, the treasure's whereabouts are well documented. However, the true challenge lies in reaching it, as numerous cunning booby traps and mysterious puzzles guard it.
To go down in that shaft and actually do some digging and maybe be part of unearthing an original tunnel would be incredibly gratifying.
In a stunning twist of events, the Lagina brothers have unearthed a long-buried treasure. But the sudden intervention of the government and the subsequent halt of excavation at the site has sparked speculation. Could this be the long-hidden mystery of Oak Island? And how did the government and secret societies get involved? You will be amazed by the recent revelation that has prompted the U.S. to halt further research on Oak Island. The search for the Oak Island treasure is one of the longest ongoing treasure hunts in recorded history. Throughout the centuries, numerous notable individuals, including Franklin D. Roosevelt, Errol Flynn, and John Wayne, have been captivated by this puzzle, devoting their time and resources to unraveling its secrets. Diverse experts and organizations have dedicated themselves to the quest for this elusive treasure, which has remained hidden since the 18th century. One spectacular addition to this endeavor was the inclusion of Gary Drayton, a respected metal detecting expert, treasure hunter, and author of books on treasure hunting and metal detecting. When Drayton joined forces with the Lagina brothers in their exploration, it was a moment destined for greatness. Over the years, the Lagina brothers and Drayton have made remarkable discoveries, unearthing a concealed tunnel that had been buried for 250 years, and even locating King Charles II's treasure from the 17th century. These findings hold immense importance in the history of Oak Island. Additionally, they stumbled upon wooden tunnels dating back to the 15th century, as well as a number of silver and gold, igniting speculation about the proximity of the original money pit, or the existence of a secret treasure chamber connected by an underground passage. However, just as the Lagina brothers unearthed the ultimate treasure in Oak Island, they were abruptly instructed to cease their operations by the government. While they continue to fight for their rights to proceed with the excavation, rumors have surfaced regarding the involvement of secret cults dating back to the 18th century. But before delving into the intriguing details, let's first provide you with some important context. Since the late 18th century, people have been absolutely captivated by the allure of Oak Island's hidden treasures. The stories of buried riches associated with Captain Kidd, a Scottish sailor and privateer, have ignited the imaginations of countless individuals over the years. The early attempts to excavate the island's secrets remain shrouded in mystery and confusion. It wasn't until 1856 that the legends surrounding Oak Island began to take shape. In addition to Captain Kidd, the island has been linked to tales of religious artifacts, ancient manuscripts, and even Marie Antoinette's precious jewels. It's a fascinating narrative of buried treasure and perilous traps, infused with unexpected twists and turns. When it comes to uncovering hidden wealth, the most challenging aspect often lies in determining where to begin digging. However, in the case of Oak Island, we know precisely where the treasure trove is buried underground. The real challenge lies in extracting it from its ancient hiding place, cunningly protected by booby traps and layers of mystery. Tragically, some individuals have even lost their lives in the relentless pursuit of this treasure, yet it remains undiscovered. This makes it arguably the world's longest-running active treasure hunt. Nevertheless, skeptics argue that the supposed treasure is nothing more than a natural phenomenon. One particular area that has captured the attention of treasure hunters is the enigmatic money pit. Situated on the island's eastern side, this pit is believed to be the original site of excavation. It delves more than 100 feet into the ground. According to local legends, in 1795, a teenager from Nova Scotia claimed to have witnessed a strange light hovering over the island while he was on the mainland. Intrigued by this peculiar sight, he gathered two of his friends and rowed over to investigate. Upon reaching a wooded region on the southeastern side of the island, the boys stumbled upon a depression measuring 13 feet in width, surrounded by loose soil and young trees. These were clear indications that the ground had been disturbed. Driven by curiosity, the boys began digging what would later become known as the money pit. At a depth of 2 feet, they unearthed a ring of stones encircling the pit's perimeter. 10 feet down, they encountered a platform constructed from cut timbers that were skillfully integrated into the pit's walls. Another man-made platform was discovered at a depth of 20 feet. Unfortunately, the group of friends didn't find anything beyond that, and their account abruptly ended. The story resumes in the early 1800s when the Onslow Company undertook the first official expedition to excavate the site. They picked up where the previous dig had left off and made significant progress. At intervals of 10 feet, they uncovered additional platforms, some of which featured layers of putty, charcoal, or coconut fibers on top. It's worth noting that coconuts do not grow within a 900-mile radius of Nova Scotia. Nonetheless, according to the tale, the crew made a truly remarkable discovery at a depth of 90 feet, a rectangular stone adorned with peculiar markings. In the 1860s, a language professor from Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia examined the stone and deciphered the code, revealing the message, 40 feet below 2 million pounds are buried. However, in the 1970s, another attempt at translation interpreted the code as a Coptic Christian warning not to neglect one's duty to the Lord. Oak Island also boasts intriguing formations, such as Nolan's Cross, named after a previous treasure hunter, and a mysterious triangular-shaped swamp. Smith's Cove has also been a hive of activity, with explorers making curious discoveries, such as non-native coconut fiber, which has further piqued interest. Oak Island has long been a subject of controversy and skepticism, earning the nickname Hoax Island from its critics. The lack of reliable eyewitness accounts prior to the early 1860s has raised doubts about the authenticity of the island's excavation efforts. The first documented expeditions by the Nova Scotia Boys and the Onslow Company mark the beginning of recorded activity on Oak Island. However, the information available from the 19th century mainly relies on second-hand accounts, which critics find questionable. These discrepancies have led many to speculate that certain discoveries, such as the gold chain links found in 1849, were deliberately planted to generate interest and attract future expeditions. Similarly, the inscribed stone, discovered in the early 1800s, was not officially documented until 1862. It is curious that the stone was not mentioned in the Oak Island Treasure Company's investment prospectus in 1893, and no visual evidence of the stone or its markings was included. The current depiction of the stone, which serves as the basis for modern translations, dates back to 1949. Despite these doubts, courageous adventurers persisted in their quest to unravel the mysteries of Oak Island. Time and again, they faced setbacks as the island fiercely guarded its secrets. For more than 2 centuries, speculation ran rampant, dreams were shattered, and numerous attempts ended in disappointment. The legendary Oak Island treasure, wrapped in myth and whispered about in hushed tones, seemed impossibly out of reach. But now, against all odds, the impossible has become reality. The treasure that has captured the imaginations of countless individuals has finally been unveiled. And who were the fortunate individuals to witness this historic moment? None other than the Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty. Their story is one of unwavering patience, determination, and the triumphant spirit of human curiosity. The Lagina brothers have ushered in a new era in Oak Island's history, leaving behind a legacy that will endure for generations to come. Now let's get into the details of the fascinating discovery and the surprising intervention of the government. What led to the recent spectacular discovery by the Lagina brothers? Geologists Terry Matheson and Charles Barkhouse were completely engrossed in their chairs, their eyes fixed on the DN 11.5 borehole, with the same intensity as hawks on the hunt. Their goal was to reach a potential gold mine zone buried at a depth of 80 to 120 feet below the surface. The drilling machine continued its relentless descent into the ground, and the team gathered around it, their excitement palpable. Time was of the essence. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Mike Tedford, the drilling operation expert, dropped a bombshell. At the 90-foot mark, he had hit something. While it wasn't technically gold, Charles and Terry were thrilled because this discovery had the potential to change everything. Their minds raced with possibilities. They bombarded Mike with questions, eager to confirm if he had indeed stumbled upon a hollow cavity at 90 feet below ground level. Mike confirmed it. There was a significant amount of empty space down there. The revelation blew their minds, and they knew they were dealing with something of immense importance. Charles suggested they immediately contact Rick and Marty, the specialists in the field. Acting swiftly as a team, they got in touch with Rick and Marty, who arrived brimming with enthusiasm. Rick, especially, was thrilled since they were drilling in the very location where the treasure might be. One can only imagine his excitement. But this treasure zone within DN 11.5 was no ordinary spot. It was, quite literally, a gold mine waiting to be unearthed. It boasted high gold values, numerous air pockets, and an abundance of voids. To keep things simple, they gave it a name derived from its location, fittingly so. Rick gathered his crew to discuss the recent events that led to this incredible discovery in the Oak Island money pit. Everyone was eager to hear the story behind this extraordinary find. It was the question on everyone's mind. Without a doubt, it was no ordinary discovery. According to Mike Tedford's account, he felt the rods break through something when he reached a depth of approximately 90 feet. Whatever it was, it seemed to vanish into a void about 1.5 feet beyond his reach. Can you imagine the excitement they felt at that moment? They were overjoyed to the point of elation. However, this is where things took a fascinating turn for the better. Terry noticed something intriguing. The coordinates for DN 11.5, DN 12.5, and DN 13.5 were perfectly aligned from east to west. What made it even more puzzling was the possibility that they might be part of a hidden building, located 94 feet below the water's surface. Along with DN 12.5 and DN 13.5, these aligned coordinates seemed to be connected to something significant. Everyone wondered if they had stumbled upon another piece of the structure, and if it had any connection to the gold they had found nearby. The focus was on piecing the puzzle together and confirming Terry's intuition. It was a crucial moment, as important as it could get. The scientific evidence presented supported the possibility of a positive outcome. However, they couldn't solely rely on intuition to provide concrete proof for their claim. Without wasting a moment, Charles grabbed the phone and called Rick and Marty as soon as the crew realized they were in agreement. Rick and Marty, the Lagina brothers, quickly arrived at the site, their faces filled with anticipation. Rick, in particular, was brimming with excitement and expectation. The money pit drill program he was involved in had led them to these coordinates, which placed them right in the heart of a treasure zone. The thrill was palpable. DN 11.5, although inconspicuous in its location, was far from ordinary when it came to this treasure zone. Both literally and figuratively, it was a gold mine due to the abundance of high gold values, air pockets, and numerous voids. To simplify matters, they decided to give it a name derived from its location. Rick called a team meeting to discuss the latest developments and information. The story of this remarkable find in the Oak Island money pit captured the attention of all those interested in the subject. At that moment, everyone pondered the question at hand. It quickly became apparent that this was no ordinary discovery. When the drilling rods reached a depth of around 90 feet, Mike Tedford felt them break through something. This information was included in his report. It seemed as though whatever it was had slipped away, approximately 1.5 feet beyond their reach. They were overjoyed, bordering on ecstatic about the situation. However, this is where the story takes an intriguing and exciting turn. Terry, known for his keen observation skills, noticed that the coordinates DN 11.5, DN 12.5, and DN 13.5 were perfectly aligned from east to west. The possibility that they could be part of a hidden building, buried 94 feet below the surface, added to the excitement. DN 12.5 and DN 13.5 played a crucial role in this alignment. As a result, the most important question on everyone's mind was whether they had discovered another section of the structure, and if it had any connection to the gold found nearby. It was a challenging task to fit the pieces of this intricate puzzle together and determine if Terry's intuition was correct. The scientific data they had gathered pointed in the right direction and supported their claim. They couldn't solely rely on intuition to provide the necessary proof. The exciting scientific report was ready to be presented. The room was filled with a mix of tension and optimism as the group finally gathered to hear the long-awaited findings. They had been waiting for this moment for a very long time. After conducting an XRF analysis on DN 11.5 and obtaining the results, they were able to collect data that aligned perfectly with their expectations. Keep watching as we get into the actual find that led to the government to stepping in. What did the Lagina brothers find? Emma Culligan, an incredibly talented archaeometallurgy specialist, reached a fascinating conclusion after conducting extensive research. They stumbled upon a structure that could only be described as a tunnel. To gain a better understanding of their discovery, Emma used an XRF spectrometer to analyze a sample of dry wood collected from the area. And guess what? They found evidence of the usual materials found on Oak Island: iron, manganese, titanium, calcium, potassium, and aluminum. Emma meticulously examined the results, leaving no stone unturned. But then something unexpected happened. They stumbled upon an unusual object: gold. The excitement they felt was beyond their wildest dreams. The piece of wood they were examining contained evidence of this rare metal. Naturally, the team couldn't help but have an honest conversation with Emma to determine whether the presence of gold was indeed abnormal. Emma, with a joyful giggle, confirmed that gold was indeed the standout anomaly amidst the surrounding data. Further examination of the sample yielded a mind-blowing discovery. The quantity of gold within it was estimated to be around 0.04% of the total weight. Now that's truly astonishing. The crew was sent into a frenzy upon realizing this information. They began to speculate that there might be a significant amount of gold hidden within their discovery. It was an enticing and exciting prospect. Rick couldn't help but conclude that these peculiar findings could potentially lead them to the long-lost wealth. The more new data emerged, the more optimistic they became. Their optimism reached new heights, and things started to take a truly intriguing turn. The team found themselves exploring not just one, but two thrilling areas of development as a result of their discoveries: wood and water. It was like receiving a double dose of curiosity all at once, a truly revolutionary finding. It wasn't just the 0.04% concentration of gold in the sample that made it compelling. There were other factors at play as well. This hypothesis was underpinned by the possibility that they had stumbled upon a crucial piece of information that could guide them in the right direction. In a nutshell, the study provided evidence to support their suspicions, heightening their anticipation even further. The chunk of wood they examined exhibited characteristics that were atypical of ordinary wood. The unmistakable presence of gold within it served as a breakthrough moment, akin to a signpost pointing them directly to the buried riches they had been seeking all along. After a long and arduous journey, the team finally obtained undeniable proof that their efforts had not been in vain, as they had achieved success. The air was filled with an unmistakable sense of joy and relief. However, they acknowledged that the laboratory they had discovered was not the sole place where they could find answers. Rick graciously reminded everyone that they needed to persevere in collecting samples and conducting analyses. They had made a firm decision to explore every possible avenue, fully aware that the information they sought, which could lead them to the hidden treasures beneath the garden shaft, could be unveiled through scientific inquiry and personal exploration. Their expedition to Oak Island, in search of buried treasure, had always been an exhilarating and anticipatory experience. Each new discovery and void they encountered fueled their hope that one day they would uncover the profound secrets the island held. They yearned for the moment when they would unravel the mysteries concealed within its depths. The crew's determination to solve the enigma and unearth the legendary treasures only grew stronger with every new find. They were undeterred by the fact that numerous others had attempted and failed before them. Their passion and unwavering conviction propelled them forward, firmly believing that they would be the ones to uncover Oak Island's secrets. As they continued their journey, they inched closer and closer to achieving the elusive goal they had set their sights on. In their pursuit, they remained focused and resolute. The team knew that success was not guaranteed, but this did not dampen their enthusiasm. They recognized the challenges that lay ahead, but their unwavering commitment fueled their optimism. The stories of previous failed attempts served as a reminder of the difficult path they had chosen, but they were undeterred. With every setback, they found renewed strength and determination, knowing that they were inching closer to the ultimate revelation. As they pressed on, the team embraced the uncertainty and unpredictability of their expedition. They understood that perseverance and resilience were essential qualities for achieving their goal. They were not merely driven by the allure of riches, but by a genuine fascination with the island's mysteries. It was this genuine curiosity that fueled their unwavering resolve and kept them going, even in the face of adversity. With each step forward, the team grew more confident. They knew that their journey was not yet over, but they had come too far to turn back. The road ahead was challenging, but they were prepared to face whatever obstacles lay in their path. They were a team bound by a shared purpose, and together they would continue to explore, analyze, and uncover the secrets of Oak Island until they reached their ultimate goal. There are conflicting views among experts regarding the current approach to the search for the Oak Island treasure. Christina Downs, Ph.D., the managing editor for the Journal of Folklore Research at Indiana University, advises treasure hunters to approach the quest for treasure and the associated curse with skepticism. She suggests that curses and mysterious codes are often fabricated to make unsupported claims seem more credible and intriguing. Even well-known figures like Joe Rogan have expressed doubts about the existence of the Oak Island treasure. Rogan questions how, after 10 seasons and millions of dollars spent, the Lagina brothers, who own a significant stake in the island and star in a reality TV show about their search, have yet to find anything conclusive. Rogan suggests that the treasure could be nothing more than a myth, a hoax, or an intricate wild goose chase. Nevertheless, the truth surrounding Oak Island still possesses an air of fascination. Historian Joy A. Steele and retired marine geologist Gordon Fader have conducted research that indicates Oak Island was once a secret British industrial center. Their examination of business records and contemporaneous correspondence led them to conclude that in 1720, the British Crown authorized private companies, along with the British military, to carry out various industries on Oak Island, including the production of pine tar, brass making, and wire drawing, as a means to alleviate debt. Fader states that it was the largest industrial development in Canada at the time, with numerous advantages such as proximity to fresh water, shoreline access, safety, and excellent anchorage. According to Steele and Fader, the Money Pit, a central focus of the Oak Island mystery, was actually a natural geological feature on the island that the British utilized as a pine tar kiln for producing tar and pitch to coat their ships. The layers of wood, charcoal, and putty found in the excavated layers of the Money Pit align with what would be expected in an old tar kiln. Fader further suggests that the U-shaped structure discovered on Smith's Cove was likely a storage shed for storing the pine tar in barrels and protecting it from the sun. In those times, pine tar held equal importance to oil today, as ships would not set sail without being soaked in pine tar. Furthermore, the geological conditions of the area provide another argument against the theory of a man-made money pit. Fader explains that the island's bedrock is vulnerable to erosion by the sea and water table, resulting in an underground network of fractures and caves known as a karst system, which is prone to collapse and the formation of sinkholes. Fader, who mapped the underground conditions along the Nova Scotia coast during his tenure as a marine geologist for the Canadian government, asserts that sinkholes are common in the region. At least 2 sinkholes have been identified on Oak Island, and many more occur on the nearby mainland. Geoscientist Stephen Aitken, Ph.D., with over 25 years of experience studying the Oak Island area, supports this notion, stating that natural evidence indicates the money pit itself is a sinkhole. Aitken concurs with Fader, explaining that the bedrock beneath that side of the island has undergone local dissolution, forming a karst system in which some caves have collapsed, resulting in sinkholes, including the money pit. The search for the Oak Island treasure has been characterized by substantial investments of money and effort. Over the years, numerous individuals, organizations, and treasure hunting companies have dedicated significant financial resources to excavations and exploration on the island. The total amount of money spent on the Oak Island treasure hunt is estimated to be in the millions of dollars, making it one of the most expensive and longest treasure hunts in history. Thanks for watching another episode of Beyond Discovery. While you're still here, click on the other videos you see on your screen right now.